Yes.
Take that box on, Winona.
Cats like boxes.
Cats do like boxes. And wouldn't you know, wildcats even like boxes. And also, wouldn't you know, that us humans get entertained when we watch cats being entertained by boxes. I see a collection of some of the hardworking folk who make all things Wildcat Sanctuary possible in the background. Caretaker Katrina, a couple of our new animal care interns. It'd be Adam and Kendra and Morgan. Well, Kendra's been with us for a little bit. And Morgan, if I'm not mistaken. But hello. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. You are tuned in to a live post here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, spending time with the one, the only, Tigress Winona. You might have identified this delightful tigress by her cropped little tail there, as Winona is really kind of synonymous with that short tail, Olivia, of when people see her, they wonder what the heck happened to that tiger tail. And look at her rubbing.
I know. I'm sorry, Judson. I kind of zoned out. I was mesmerized by that tiger with the short tail. She's being very cute right now.
She's rubbing on, it's a brush that was used on a street sweeper. And caretakers were just in her yard doing some cleanup. And when certainly caretakers are in yards doing cleanup, if they're doing any type of landscaping, as it just keeps on, the grass keeps on growing here, we're going to take time to play some enrichment. So there's some what looks to be a cinnamon
there goes
on
the
that
cinnamon,
ball
yes.
that just got knocked off. You might have saw it kind of slough off there. I see some cinnamon on some other enrichment here, and Winona is ready to enjoy another day of living wild at heart.
Well, Judson, really quickly, going back to what you said about some people wonder about that short tail.
Yeah,
We should
exactly.
address it.
What was Miss Winona's life like before living wild at heart, Olivia?
Well, Winona came to us with that short tail. She was rescued along with it, but Winona was living in a backyard breeding operation along with another tiger and 2 lions, and unfortunately she was being bred for profit, and pretty consistently too. She was being bred back to back and living with that male tiger, Marcus, who was also rescued and lived at Sanctuary for about a year. And as the story goes, as probably many of you know, our very loyal supporters, Winona was found with just hours old Dash tiger cub. But how it was set up at that facility was her enclosure was aligned with a lion enclosure, and the story goes that her tail was bit off by a lion and had to be amputated many years ago. So we can't know for sure. That's the story we were told, but thankfully the short tail doesn't affect her to this day.
That's right. I often say she's our little bobtail tiger here. Certainly in good company, especially with Bobcat Town across the way. I'm sure Bobcat Town looks over at Winona and maybe acknowledges her as one of her own with that tucked tail. A lot of people filing in here saying good morning, cheering on Winona as she enjoys some enrichment here. Marcy Sanborn saying, "Oh, I just love our sassy Winona. I will purchase her all the barrels she wants." And Marcy, that is, not only a much-deserved thank you for the generosity you give, but much-deserved also in the sense of this is a cat who goes through barrels like, I don't know what, like
like no other cat.
Yeah, like dirty underwear or something. Exactly. Winona, a lot of our cats, we can kind of narrow down maybe some of their favorite pieces of enrichment, but unequivocally, Winona's favorite piece of enrichment has to be a barrel. Doesn't matter the color. It can be yellow, it can be blue, white barrels, as long as it is, as long as it's a cylinder. Winona's kind of going to do what we're seeing here and straddle it a little bit, kind of get her arms around it. That's like I said earlier, one of our volunteers worked at it for a municipality here in Minnesota, and was able to donate some what were going to be retired and thrown away street brushes, those big street cleaners that used to come down your road. At least I remember it, Olivia, as a kid. I would get in trouble because I would put my little action figures and toys
really?
in front of the street sweeper to see.
Judson.
Well, you know, I was
To see what would
curious.
happen?
Yeah, you know, would it clean the toys? Would it break them into oblivion?
Well, what happened?
They would stop the street sweeper and get a hold of my mom.
Okay.
And then I'd get in trouble.
That's a funny story.
Yeah.
Well,
But no, every time I see the cats rubbing on those street sweepers, kind of vicariously, I imagine just how good that feels. It's those bristles are pretty firm.
they are.
Yeah, and can only imagine on a kind of that rugged, wild tiger coat that really kind of cuts through and gives them scratches the itch that they're trying to itch. Tanya Toner saying, shared this post. Thank you, Tanya. I got to keep on making my way up through the comments here. Yeah, Winona, or rather Ellen, I saw you kind of comment with some exclamations earlier about Winona, and that you didn't know that she got a gazebo. And as a matter of fact, Winona's always had this gazebo. You might recall that with Thor's move from here in War Ridge over to his new space in Wild Woodlands, Thor left behind a free-roaming habitat. And certainly that free-roaming habitat has been put to tremendous use by Winona. So I wouldn't blame you for maybe thinking, well, I know that maybe she's in a new space. Is that gazebo in this new space? But this is her original habitat, part of the 2-for-1 special here at the Wildcat Sanctuary that I like calling it, where she has this space and then the connected space right next to her. Two awesome habitats that typically act as habitats where we can gauge and assess mergers. But with Winona having access to both, she just gets to enjoy it as one big habitat.
Well, Judson, that gazebo is partially new. It is.
Well, yes. That's shame on me, Olivia, for not realizing, and shame on me for not giving credit where credit is due. As you would imagine, a tiger, though they have specified pieces of enrichment in their free-roaming habitat, and I shouldn't say just, I think felines in general like finding their own fun. And Winona saw the boards or the platform of her cabana to be, the most suitable place to scratch and treat as a little scratching pad there. So you're right, you're seeing some new wood. So also credit to you, Ellen, for maybe seeing that new wood and thinking that this is a new piece of construction.
Yeah, but I think it's exciting. We have a reel going up today that'll kind of show that process of putting in those new platforms. And then, of course, if you know us here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, just like Winona's used barrels go to use in our auctions and in our gift shop, I'd keep an eye out for those used boards because I'm sure they'll be used in a creative way too.
That's right. We always love when our cats help us get crafty and create, truly one-of-a-kind, unique items that you all get the chance to bid on. Looking at a few more comments here. David Hill only just joined, just wondering what happened to her tail. Well, David, we actually talked about Winona and why a tiger is here at Sanctuary without a tail. The long and short of it is Winona came from an unscrupulous facility where she was being bred and her cubs were being sold for profit. Winona lived at this facility, and at this facility they had a handful of cats in tight quarters, and her tail was bit by one of these lions at this breeding facility in her previous life. Her tail had to be surgically amputated. That was some years ago, and again, before she came to the Wildcat Sanctuary. And now you see Winona here, and she's no worse for the wear for not having a tail. And like I mentioned earlier, she was our little our bobtailed tiger here.
Yes, and she's still very expressive with that bob. Even earlier when you were talking about her scratching up against that brush roll, she was twitching that tail, still doing all the signs that we see with our other cats with full tails. Definitely communicating very well with it.
Exactly. All right, let's see if we can get another look at this pretty gal. And maybe we'll kind of keep on rotating through Roar Ridge here, and perhaps we might be able to see Bobcat Town being done in his space, but maybe, just maybe, Oh my, there we go. And so confidently she presides over the ball and box she's knocked off her gazebo there.
She's enjoying the breeze, Judson. A little bit cooler today than yesterday.
Hey, Christine, glad to have you with us. Yeah, sorry if that sound can be a little funky. I always like kind of backing in and backing out. I even try to watch Tammy's Sanctuary Stroll, or not Sanctuary Strolls, rather, her Wildcat wrap-ups every Thursday along with you all. And I'm kind of dipping and diving and trying to make sure the audio is right. And the best way to solve it is kind of coming in and coming out. Lisa Parker. I have a piece of Jeremy and Simon's platform as a holder for a nose and whisker print. It even has a little hair, which I try not to lose when I dust. Lisa, that's so cool. And congratulations on such a cool keepsake. I'll admit that I have a few of the paw prints when some of our rescues pass on here at Sanctuary. We're able to get paw prints of that cat, so we're able to have kind of that extra special memory of that rescue in their life at Sanctuary. And I find some of the paw prints, they're all incredibly near and dear to me, but some of the ones that are extra special have some of the fur kind of sealed in the paint that was used for the paw print. And it certainly is a kind of just a special little keepsake on top of something even more special. Chizzy Lovell, talking the talk. I have 4 sponsored cats and I want to add a 5th.
Wow,
Five's a good round number, Chizzy. And all jokes aside, that first of all, you're doing a very generous thing, and for you to take on a 5th and increase that level of generosity is something to be appreciated. So, Chizzy, thank you for doing that. Of course, you are open to sponsor any one of our rescued residents, but I always encourage a phone call. If you give us a call at 320-245-6871. It's great when people who are looking to sponsor a cat, well, you can call and ask, and perhaps maybe there's some cats who don't have as many sponsors as they need. The reality of the situation is it takes multiple sponsors to support just one cat here at the Sanctuary, regardless of the species. So certainly so, Chizzy, as you're thinking about rounding up that 4 to a good old 5, maybe giving us a call would be a great option. But otherwise, if you know the cat that you have in mind, as a sponsor for cats, you know the drill. You can go right to our website and set up your sponsorship there. And then, of course, look forward and anticipate your sponsorship kit, which is going to have all types. And good luck finding a bobcat in here, Olivia.
I know.
All types of media showcasing the cat that you so generously took under your sponsor wing. Winona, we're going to say au revoir.
Oh, I was going to say adieu. We've got all the languages.
Adieu. Make sure I'm not missing any more comments here, but Winona's ready to settle into her day. She had her habitat cleaned. She's got a little box enrichment that I'm sure will be flattened out like a pancake later.
She's one happy cat.
She is, yep. Now it's time just to kind of take in the breeze and and see what's what, All right, pretty girl. Onward and forward. Really is a beautiful day here at Sanctuary. Really kind of was kind of plain and simple. It was a hot day yesterday. It was not only hot in temperature, air temperature, but the humidity was high. It was just a wet and heavy day. So glad that we're certainly getting a reprieve. The cat's getting a reprieve. The humans getting a reprieve. This is cool to see. A little recurve construction happening with Jesse and Bobby, 2 of our facilities people.
I'm still not seeing a bobcat in that habitat, Judson.
Yes, Tao is
concealed and hidden somewhere in
certainly so. And so this is kind of unique, Olivia, and I obviously we have kind of all of this safety information banked, as employees and you know, the people kind of delivering this information, or supporters. But I love examples like this that kind of flick that light bulb for me. And one thing that we often don't talk about is our recurve and why it's important, and why when we talk about things like, you made that awesome reel of our emergency weather protocol.
Yes.
This is an example for some of the types of things that we're looking for after these weather events. Of what type of condition is the habitat in? Has it been altered at all, or has there been any damage? Have trees fallen? And so it's just a good example of how we're sitting here on 40 plus acres. We have 140 plus cats here. That's a lot of P's and Q's to kind of mind when we're coming out coming out after these dangerous weather situations and wanting to kind of rectify if there has been any damage.
Absolutely, and I didn't include it in that reel, Judson, but caretakers are coming out here and checking the habitats before giving cats access. So the first part of that reel shows that initial portion of getting the cats locked inside until it's safe again, but the other part that wasn't included was caretakers are making sure and checking habitats to make sure it's safe again for cats and people, and recurve is a great example, like you said.
Go animal care interns, go. Buddy had his habit. Looks like service is getting the best of us, so we'll scoot along here.
And that recurve, Judson, that recurve adds a sort of extra barrier. If you think about a cat and their center of gravity, it's really, really hard for a cat to hang upside down. So if a cat were to climb that wall, which doesn't normally happen very often, but if they were to climb that wall, they couldn't get over that recurve. It's pretty much physically impossible.
Yeah, so they can climb vertically, but maybe not upside down.
Yes.
So let's see here. I saw Shadow kind of way... Yeah, she was kind of way back in her habitat. I'm just going to do a kind of quick sweep down here to maybe see if we can see some tiger boys. They were running around their habitat earlier this morning. Yeah, Shadow, I won't be able to see you over there, Miss Lady, but it's in the shade and is a perfect spot for a lovely leopard like you.
Yeah, you really can't. And especially because she's black, she blends right in.
Yeah, Shadow's going to be right over there, kind of behind that pole there, that support. So sorry about that, everyone. No, I don't mean to tease, but I can get a little better look at her here. So at least we know that I'm not blowing smoke. There you are, Miss Shadow. She says, yeah, I'm just hanging out. Sherry Gillian getting excited, saying, wow, I caught you 2 days in a row. Good morning. Well, glad to have you, Sherry. So happy. Cheryl Adams just commenting, thank you for all you do for the awesome cats. And awesome, isn't that just a great word to describe our rescues? And really kind of too, Olivia, in the truest sense of the word, you know, they're awe-inspiring. They kind of cause, you know, a sense of awe, you know, not only in their beauty, but in the stories that they've taught us, and kind of understanding. Oh, what was that, Olivia?
It was a worm. It was in the dry part of the ground. I felt bad for it. I didn't want it to dry up.
All right, an animal. We care for animals of all shapes and sizes, and
I didn't want the earthworm to dry up.
You know, invertebrate or not. So.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Olivia. Let's see. Let's keep strolling here. Maybe, just maybe, I kind of have an idea. No.
While we walk. In the last week of Catio Town.
Sneak a little closer to the building.
Last week of Catio Town, and donations are much.
So maybe we'll
Maybe we'll wait. Maybe we'll hold on. Moving towards Noah and Elizabeth's habitat here. Hoof it, huff it, I don't know. Hoofing it? I don't know, Judson.
We'll see you, Noah.
But we won't talk too much here. Not anything of substance, at least, because the in and out. Do you want to sing a song, Judson, while we walk? The people love when you sing.
Well, they won't be able to hear it, Olivia.
Well, I know. So pick a song.
We go to like some Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra.
No one's ever loved and lost like Frank, Olivia.
Wow. That's profound.
Well, hey, Elizabeth.
Here we go. Service is holding.
Hey, pretty girl. You know, we came all the way over here to see a pretty tigress like you.
We go all the way around. All right, we really are huffing it, or whatever you said, Judson. Hoofing it. Wow, we just made our way from Roar Ridge all the way over here to Feline Meadows to tigers Noah and Elizabeth.
And I see a tigress Elizabeth, and well, typically I see a tiger Noah, and I don't see him.
I don't see him either. I have not seen really any cats. That might have to do with the tall grass here, but also they have access to those indoor bedrooms, which is so great.
Well, that's where I truthfully suspect Noah to be. He's got an extra large hammock bed in his bedroom, and he does a good job of filling that thing up, so I can only imagine that he is taking a load off inside. And typical for Elizabeth, kind of a typical spot. I'm sure a lot of people could agree. And look at that, Ellen, we went from a tiger with no tail to a tiger with a long tail.
Very long, beautiful tail, Miss Elizabeth.
I kind of like to zoom in on the tail a little bit, Olivia. The top, kind of the base of the tail. Look at that long stripe that goes lengthwise.
I did see that,
and it's kind of folded over and lost it.
She has one kind of underneath, but it was interesting because as you said that, I was noticing it. And Winona has a similar stripe on her tail that goes vertically and not horizontally.
Yeah.
But that is a beautiful tiger tail on a beautiful tigress. Judson's going to see if he can spot Noah. But as I was saying, we're in our last week of Catio Town, which is very exciting. All donations are matched now through June 30th. And if you've been following along, we posted a post yesterday. Judson made me laugh. He said, if you've been living under a TWS rock, but if you've been living under a TWS rock, then you might not know that we have our Catio Town campaign going on right now. But Catio Town is a very, very important and essential project for our 40-plus hybrids here at Sanctuary and providing them a new, more conducive home. So thank you to everyone who's given so far. You can still sponsor a square foot for $250. That will be matched, and you'll get a really awesome photo card along with that. So I'd be remiss if we didn't mention that.
That's right. You have certainly the square foot opportunity, but just thinking, hey, $5 gift, that's matched. $10 gift, that's matched. I always like kind of plugging some of the alternative methods because I know a person like me, you know, I don't have a crazy amount of expendable income, but I can think about, sometimes I have a little change sitting in my Venmo account, maybe from a weekend of buying food for a friend, they buy food for me. Oftentimes, you know, I have $5-10 sitting there. That's also a great way to give if you just have a little, it's almost like pennies sitting in the piggy bank for me.
Exactly. That's a good point, Judson.
Yeah, I think our Venmo is a great, easy, and effective way. Obviously, we know we can go right to our website. We have the Facebook post here, but I love that Venmo is an option too.
Karen requesting a photo of Noah in his hammock.
Ooh, Karen.
We'll keep that in mind.
You know, I think I took a little clip of him last week, but it was him getting fed his meal, and he's eating a whole chicken on his bed. So maybe not the best for social media, but we'll certainly see if we have something.
Let's see here. Terry was saying that it's 2:30 a.m. in Australia, and that you're going to head out. Well, if you circle back around, Terry, eventually after you wake up, thanks for being here. That's so amazing. I love seeing all of our international followers kind of chime in.
From down under.
From down under.
Thank you, Terry. And we will see you around the bend.
Beverly, tiger tail. Now I want ice cream. That's funny. I saw Tanya catch a tiger by the tail. That's what I was looking for. Little expression there. And Marcy saying a pretty cute tiger tushy. I agree. What do you think, Judson? Should we keep bothering Elizabeth or should we keep moving? I hear some mowing behind us.
Yeah, I hear one of our volunteer mowers kicking some butt over here in Feline Meadows. I don't think that would preclude us from maybe visiting with Aspen and Storm, or Aspen and Blaze, rather. Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe we'll go over there and get a little cougar time in, and
that works for me.
Yeah. And if cougar time doesn't work out, maybe we'll go and check in on Shazam, and that will be our finale, our climax.
Absolutely. We have to end on a cat, as always. That's the rule. But I am hoping we'll see Aspen and Blaze. Yesterday for the sanctuary stroll, we saw a few of our wild-born cougars. Tacoma really put on a show, which I enjoyed seeing. We saw Noah off in the distance, so hopefully we can get some more wild-born cougars today. Very, very beautiful cat, as you all know.
I see a Blaze up here,
okay.
who's posturing and positioning himself to come.
I was like, I don't even see him.
Us here. We're back, Mr. Blazer. And speaking of long tails.
Very long tail. Of course, cougar tails are pretty recognizable. And he is ready to go. I'm sure as soon as we move Judson, we'll have a Blaze right up here on the fence.
Well, that's typical of a cat like Blaze, understands that he sees us kind of pointed towards him, sees us looking at him. He's going to know that his opportunity is when us silly humans turn our backs.
Ellen Simmons mentioning that all the green looks especially beautiful today. I agree, Ellen. It does look especially beautiful, especially all the rain that we've had lately, and I think the sunshine yesterday probably helped the plants too, but the sky's beautiful, the greenery's beautiful, and the temperatures are much nicer.
And we keep on getting headless cats, Blaze.
I know.
We'll walk over here for a moment, see if we can actually see him.
I need a face. I had no Aspen in sight, but I'm sure somewhere catching some shade.
He's probably hanging out in his den box.
There's a face.
Hey,
and of course that Elvis lip.
If the service demands it,
I think we need to keep moving, Judson.
Let's blast out of here.
All right, bye, Blaze. Bye, Blaze. Time to walk again. We're covering some serious ground here today, Judson. A true sanctuary stroll.
When the situation demands it.
I know.
We stroll.
And the situation is demanding. Maybe we can say hello to Dimitri. And this seems to be Dimitri's new chosen spot in this habitat. Probably about maybe a month and a half ago. Moved here to this habitat, and pretty consistently I've been seeing Dimitri on this platform in particular.
And Griffin, I wonder where Griffin is. Maybe he's inside. I don't know. He might be quick about coming to see.
He is pretty quick.
About coming to see what anybody visiting his habitat is up to.
Yeah, Griffin is usually first to come say hi, and that's a pretty classic Dimitri. I saw a comment about tiger toe beans earlier. So
had some fun with Dimitri's aunt this morning. I was flying the drone above her habitat, and Pandora is one of the more curious cats when it comes to seeing a drone flying above her, and to see her kind of puzzling out that drone, wondering if it's within reach. It surely wasn't, Miss Pandora, don't worry. But still a fun morning with this guy's aunt here.
There we go. Okay. Yep. The service is ushering us over in this direction. But good, we got to stop in with Dimitri. I like saying hi to these boys in this corner of the sanctuary. And heading towards Shazam. We'll see if that black leopard is out to say hello.
Are getting used, but aren't overly dirty.
True. I see Alyssa.
I'm still trying to hold.
Alrighty. Let's see. No lions. I can't see any lions either. There's Alyssa, but she's kind of tucked into a hard to reach corner of her habitat.
Well, and admittedly, I have a hunch. If a
Ooh, perfect.
Hey, mister.
Well, you might not be able to see from here, but let's see if I can crouch down. Hi, Shazam.
Kneel down.
Yeah. There is the black void. Yeah, Shazam. Hi, handsome dude. Very handsome indeed, making smart decisions, as we say, in a nice shady spot in that dog glue. Saying a little hello of his own to all of us. Hi, Shazam. We won't hang out for too long. We just wanted to say hi.
What do you think, Mr. Handsome?
Ellen, I know. You would think that a clear day would deliver better internet service, but we're working with what we've got. So thank you all for being so patient, as always. Tracy is saying that the Tiger Trio gives the drone a look from their platform. Like, fly that thing just a little lower, Judson, and it's ours.
Boy.
I know, those pictures of the Tiger Trio in particular, they are ready to launch at it. But Pandora is a very similar expression, like Judson was saying. Definitely very interested in the drone.
Yeah, she was very, like I said, some of the cats and we, certainly make a point of, if I know a cat is uncomfortable with a drone flying above them, we're obviously not going to fly a drone above that cat. But, Pandora, I think that she's always curious about the drone. Simon and Jeremy, obviously, you just mentioned the Tiger Trio. Mr. Shazam, he says, I don't know what a drone is and I don't care.
Exactly. Megan asking if we pet the cats. We do not pet the cats. First of all, welcome, Megan. I'm going to assume that you're new. Thanks for asking a question. That's always encouraged here. But we don't pet the cats. We are a non-contact sanctuary, meaning we don't have direct contact with our residents unless it is for medical purposes, and that means that they're sedated if we're having contact with them. So this is in order to keep them and their life as wild as possible. We want to respect them as the wild animals they are. So no petting.
Yeah, Olivia, that's exactly right. And it's also a thing, Megan, where we don't want to kind of, display a bad example of what is an appropriate way to interact with a wildcat. When you see someone having free contact with a wildcat, when you see someone bottle feeding a wildcat, when you see someone with a serval cat or a caracal in their house, very simply, those are not compassionate ways of interacting with wildlife. And for us here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, we want to give, for many of the first time in these cats' lives, a sense of compassion and understanding for what they are, wildcats, and for us to pet them and treat them like domestic animals would be the farthest thing from a wildcat.
Absolutely. And Megan also saying that you are new, so
Hey,
another welcome, and saying that you love cheetahs. And we do have a couple of resident cheetahs here at Sanctuary. We'll be sure to link their bios to you, to your comment. But welcome, and I hope that you stay and kind of explore our page more and learn more about what we do.
Yeah.
But people are making comments that Shazam is not liking the press.
Yeah,
and
we're out of here.
I don't want to bother him too much longer, but...
Yeah, we're out of your hair, mister.
What do you think, Judson?
Well, I saw a comment saying his house, his rules.
His house, his rules.
That is the way that we like it here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. The cats run the show, and we abide by their wants and needs. So, Mr. Shazam, we will get out of your hair.
Alrighty, where to, Judson?
I think what we'll do is we'll curl around here. We'll see if Thor's there, and then we'll give a big old sign off.
All right, we will go fast. We're nothing of substance against. We're all gonna walk together.
Fast as we can.
I always give. He is much taller than me, which means he covers a lot more ground than I do.
Embody your inner chief. Oh. Speaking of ladies.
Oh, perfect.
It's kind of in a funny spot.
She
Kind of a
is.
thicket of some bushes in front of Miss Mansa there. But she's got herself a good little shade spot under a pair of trees. But Olivia, we found a cat. The internet is kind of knocking us around like a ping pong ball.
Yes.
I'm glad that we did get to, really just kind of cover some ground. Started out with Winona, and really just kind of saw who we saw in between Roar Ridge and Feline Meadows. Miss Elizabeth, Lainey cat exclaiming, "No, don't go, stay longer." Well, Lainey, because of that plea, well, at least we'll go around the corner and see if we see Leo.
I think so.
But of course, as always, a marvelous sanctuary stroll on this Wednesday. Glad we got to beat that Catio Town drum a little bit. Look forward to our e-newsletter tomorrow, which is just going to highlight the conclusion of that campaign. Not only encouraging you in the final days of Catio Town and the matching gifts towards that campaign, but certainly a big thank you for getting us to the point that we are and really just kind of starting off this momentous something for the rescues here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, a new area for our hybrid rescues in the best way possible. So thank you, and look forward to that e-newsletter tomorrow.
Jamie's asking how Daisy is doing, and Jamie, I'd point you to our live post exactly a week ago on Wednesday, and Judson and I kind of went around this area of the sanctuary and did check in with Daisy briefly, but she's doing very well. Very, very well. She recently moved, and she's thriving in her new space, thriving in her new habitat with her new neighbors. But no, Leo, so we're going to end on Thor here.
Hey,
and we talked about you at the beginning of the live. I think that really is a full circle, Judson, since he moved from that habitat that Winona now reigns over. Hi, handsome.
Hey, pretty boy.
Megan, that's awesome to hear that you're going to look after this live and that you don't want to miss it. Some of our content and learning more about our cheetahs in particular.
Glad to hear it, Megan.
And
glad to hear it.
Media intern Timo in the comments here also saying that yesterday we mentioned some cheetahs in our live, or we saw some cheetahs in our live.
Say that again, Olivia. I was, of course, reading an email I just got from Tammy.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
I saw you looking back at me.
Yeah,
and
well,
I didn't know if you were asking me a question.
I felt you tap me, but maybe you accidentally did.
No, I apologize.
That's
just
okay.
The consummate communications specialist here, even checking my emails during a live here. I apologize.
Admittedly,
everyone.
I also checked my email during this live, so we're always on it. Communications, multitasking.
Yeah, the biggest curse and a blessing has been getting a smartwatch. So beware if you don't have one. You'll just be that much more plugged in.
Exactly. And Megan, you're asking a good question that I feel like is the perfect cap to this live. Are people allowed to come visit? They aren't. We are closed to the public, but this is the best way to see the cats on these live posts. So it's so special that you got to join us today for your first live post. And I encourage you, Monday through Friday, we go live every Monday through Friday. So come back for more. This is the best way to see the cats.
Certainly so. And yeah, obviously the live post too. And I think it maybe, as some of you saw, sometimes the internet can get the best of us. We have 140 rescues. I wish I could paint the sanctuary red every day on these sanctuary strolls. But sometimes the internet just gets the best of us. So just our social media channels in general are a great way to kind of really understand what's happening here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, how you can play a role, and how your support is making it all happen.
Absolutely.
Thor,
he's having a moment with his platform here.
it looks like me in college on some of my textbooks.
It's hilarious.
Just giving up on life a little bit. Alrighty, everyone. A lovely sanctuary stroll as always, since we got to spend our time with you, our supporters, and the cats we all love so much. But thank you all for tuning in today. Thank you all for getting us to this point in Catio Town and stepping up for the last and final days of this campaign. But otherwise, Olivia, we did it.
We did it. We all did it together.
Yeah, we did. And really a lovely day. We can zoom out on Thor, and I love how some of the cats just look like little peanuts in their big free roaming habitat. So off Thor goes to sleep away the day. And hey, thank you again, everyone, for tuning in today. And we will see you back here at the Wildcat Sanctuary tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.